Hello everyone, and welcome to this Smoked Pats behind the scenes video. What inspired me to create this short? Well, let's start off with the fact that, this studio right here, that I idolize a lot, they uploaded something about an upcoming Bob's Burgers film that's gonna be coming out on Memorial Day. And it was a teaser trailer, of course, and I got intrigued, actually, And then I looked at the hamburger bit at the beginning of the trailer. It ultimately reminded me of, you guessed it.
No, I said steamed hams. That's what I call hamburger.
So I decided to base something off of that. For this, I created two new characters, Wilford and Stanhope. Wilford takes on the role as Superintendent Chalmers, while Stanhope takes in the role as Principal Skinner, who accidentally burns his planned meal for an unforgettable luncheon. So he goes to a nearby restaurant to improvise. I thought it was such an iconic skit. So I got to work, not long after. For the drawing of the Bob's Burgers place outside the window, I drew the entire thing from scratch. I looked at every detail from the second trailer which they posted, and I got a lot of it correct. Anyway, let's move on. Some of the animation I did with a green screen. I won't go into full detail on what I did for the production, but I will tell you that all the green screen animations were chroma keyed on the Power Director. I removed the green screen, and then I made it look like an actual scene. And then I put it on Adobe Premiere to size the screen for the production. And to make sure I didn't forget any of the lines, I wrote myself a little and my own version of the dialogue. The script was intended for me to say these lines taken. It was in California and San Francisco, but it was in Century City. But I figured that's where the show took place, in San Francisco, California, so I changed it up a bit. For Photoshop, I animated a lot of the scenes in Photoshop, and I animated, like, a realistic version of going through a door. Would stand up, going through the door, and you'd notice the other room on the other side. I just wanted to give it some aesthetic and realistic pleasure. Oh, by the way, the name of the ship in the picture right next to the door is RMS Organic. It is an original liner based upon the Teutonic-class ship Majestic, constructed for White Star Line at Highland and Wolff shipyards back in 1889. I stretched it out by 2 to make sure it had 4 funnels, like all my ships do. Can't go wrong with 4 funnel liners, to be honest, in my opinion. I just got inspired from learning from Titanic and other ships that had 4 funnels, and I thought, you know what, I'm doing that, Honestly, I've been drawing ships for years, and it's led me to where I am today. I'll put a link into that picture and my DeviantArt in the description. For each segment of the talking layers, I animated the mouth sync up like a regular animator would, except I animated it with MS Paint. I even recorded the voice lines for the dialogue, of course. And for the fire effects, I tried to look on YouTube for some non-copyrighted material, and I got what I was looking for eventually. I'll put a link in the description, of course. For the poster on the wall, I went with the 20th Century Fox logo, which I also drew from hand. I looked at various versions of the steamed ham skit, and each one has a different version of the picture on the wall, and I decided I should do something like that myself. I even put in the Disney Pixie Arch to simplify that Disney owns 20th Century Fox, respectively. I even included a Disney byline, because why not? Even also majorly because it's owned by Disney now. So, just to be respectful. And I look, this production took me at least a few weeks to get done, and honestly, I had fun working on this project. Oh, and while I was at it, I kind of snuck in a little secret message in the video. If you probably found out what it said, congratulations! Anyway, Bob's Burgers movie comes out this Memorial Day. Why don't you go and see it in theaters if you want. See ya.